So I would say, I think definitely growing up without a father, probably the biggest thing that shaped me because we were very close. So I think after he left, I grew up with a lot of insecurity. So I craved love, like Kemazumtu that craves love.
Yeah, you were in them Jolo streets quite a lot.
I was. Yo, I was
didn't
on
walk
the
streets, my sister. You ran the streets.
I ran the streets. Yeah, like I said, like I was the girl that was always dating.
Yeah.
I was dating to break up.
Yeah.
I was breaking up because I saw somebody. I dated a guy, and then as soon as he was serious, I would break up with him. Because for me, I think relationships ended. Relationships were divorce. Relationships hurt. So as soon as a guy was very serious, I was like, it's time to call it a day. And I mean, then I didn't have words for it. Like then I just was like, no, dude, we're done.
Yeah.
You know, and brother's like, what's happening, you know? And then he sees me with somebody else the next day, because by the time I break up with you, I already know who I'm going to date next. Yeah, when I was never single for too long. So I think that's probably one of the biggest things that shaped me. I think even in friendships, I was very insecure. So I would be friends with you, like, when hold on, you know. But even if you were wrong, I would apologize.
Wow.
You know, so you don't talk to me for 2 or 3 days, I'll be the girl that will come and say, you know what, I'm sorry. Because I felt like I had to work on relationships and I had to work for people to love me. I never believed that I was lovable.
Intrinsically loved,
I never believed that I was good enough. And I believed that for love to work, I'd have to hold on. So that was a big thing. And I think at school, I was always doing sport. Like I was either doing sport, whether I'd be debating, whether I'd be speaking. And then it's because I was keen. But looking back, it's because that affirmed me. So I was the girl in the first netball team from like a young age, you know. So I'm walking, you know, like feeling good and stuff because those things filled me up and they affirmed me. So I'd say that I was empty in my life. I lacked love and I needed love. And you think it ends when you are an adult. And it didn't. I think it just came out in a different way and in a different form. So whether it be working, because I work full time when I'm not coaching, in my corporate life, I was very insecure in my early 20s. So I wanted my boss to always be like, you are the gal, Lily, you are the gal, you know? And when they didn't, I didn't feel like I was good enough, you know? So I think those are just some of the things that, sort of like, that just shaped who I was.
Wow.
And I think how I am now is because I had to ask myself the question, because I remember going into work and constantly feeling empty and constantly, because for the first time in that job that I did, I wasn't achieving. So I think lots of my worth came through, I'll always do well. You tell me to do something, I'll do it well, you know, and that made me feel good. But at this job, I wasn't shooting the lights out, I wasn't terrible, I was just here. And then it shook me because I wasn't getting the affirmation from my bosses. I wasn't getting the, Lele, you are the gal, you know, but rather I felt like I wasn't good enough. And I remember sitting after our second born, I sat and he was about two months old, and I just said to myself, if I stay in this position and if people don't tell me that I'm good enough, am I going to live my life always waiting
for people to tell me?
Yes. And I think that's when the shift, like it
kind of hit you.
Like it hit me like a ton of bricks. Because then I think I realized for the first, I knew it, but I made the decision that I need to drive my own life and I need to take control of my own life. And I cannot wait for my boss to tell me that, Lele, today you are doing it, you know. And then when he doesn't, I'm like very insecure and I don't feel good enough, you know. So then I decided that I need to know who I am. I need to find my identity in Christ, and I need to walk that road. And I think that was a very big transformation, I think, in my life and in my marriage. Because also, I mean, I got married. They call me like a child bride. Getting married at 21. 20.
Whoa. Luxolo, what were you doing at 21?
What were you doing at 21? Tell me.
Sure.
You know, so 21, turning 22, I was very insecure as well in marriage.
Sure.
I was always waiting for Cam to affirm me, waiting for Cam to say that I'm good enough.
Good enough, yeah.
And then to make it worse or better, we plant a church, you know, in the mix of it. And that's people. And people, I mean, come with their stuff and they're like, this is how I feel. And I think then also that crushed me as well. And it showed me that. But I think a pivotal point, like to Cam's strength and to Cam's, I'm so grateful to God for that he was the person that always saw me and the person that always was like, there's more to you, you know. So I'm also very grateful for also his constant
encouragement
and affirmation that